Okay, welcome back. Today, Nano Banana, this is going to be fun. So picking up off the last video, I wrote a few PRDs. I'll show you a couple. I won't go through them in full detail because I want to get into the Nano Banana stuff. So we're getting to the point where I'm going to want to do publishing. So we'll work on that. Scheduling. I'm going to do some kind of weird, crazy stuff with scheduling posts, TikToks to go out. Thumbnail generation. This is the one I've written. This is one we're going to do today. We'll get into this in detail in a second. UI. I'm going to need a UI for this. I'm fed up with running terminal commands. So now we're near the end. I'm almost ready to run the whole pipeline and see all this run in one go. I took a look at the code for this, so it's kind of got some of the parts of what this will need. This pipeline's going to need a little bit more work to be a bit more robust. Some of the things I've been touching on with doing FEMA analysis, giving it, failover, guardrails, that kind of stuff. So some of that backlog stuff. But I want a UI where I can basically go, okay, show me the status of jobs, resume ones that have failed, archive old ones. So basically that's kind of all it will do. The other thing I've realized is like these shorts, I think some of them are going to be junk. So where I talked about this in one of the previous videos, where it's scoring the shorts, even the ones it scored highly, like not all of them are great. So I don't just want to go, okay, take 6 shorts this thing's created and just send them out, because we want a level of quality control. I'm not sure I can get there with AI alone. So it's bugger all effort for me to just have a UI where I can quickly watch them because they're short and go, no, don't send that, kill those, and then maybe I get 2-3 good shorts out of some of these longer videos and just bin the rest. So yeah, that's why I'm going to need a UI. What else? Workflow robustness. Yeah, so that's part of this as well. Having a status file for the overall job, that's going to be easy. So yeah, that's it. So UI I'll cover in another video. Today's all going to be about thumbnail generation. So how is this going to work? I've done a little bit of setup for this. Take you through the PRD. Go create a thumbnail for the main video via Google Gemini. So a couple of key changes this is going to need. Generate content. My favorite script in the pipeline that is racking up my Anthropic bill. That's doing all this work to go, okay, give me titles, give me a description, give me a summary, chapters, etc. What I want this to do is extend this so it adds a thumbnail prompt. So at the same time it's generating all this content, it actually generates a prompt to generate the image. I've done this approach before. I've got some websites that are kind of automated SEO. I have AI write the articles, and at the same time it writes the articles, it writes the metadata for the articles, and it writes a prompt for an image for the article. So I know this works. I've done this approach. Works very well. I've done it with GPT Image 1 on OpenAI. I've not done it with Nano Banana, Google Gemini. So we'll see what happens. Amend the schema as well. You saw me just do that. And then extend the prompting with this instruction loaded from Config.yaml. Let's make this a bit more specific because I didn't understand it just reading it now. So what I'm trying to say here is extend this request. So where it's sending a request. How can I refer to that a bit better? Like, yeah, build prompt. Extend in. Yeah, so what I'm saying is get this text, and I'll talk about what this does in a sec, add it to the Config.yaml, load it in here, and then when it builds this prompt, add a line here going, oh, generate me an image as well, and these are the instructions for it. So what I wanted to say is, hey, create a prompt, thumbnail prompt, that can be used to generate an image for the video at a subsequent stage. The prompt should refer to one or two key visual concepts related to the video and reference the emotional state of the video creator, who will also feature in the thumbnail. So basically I'm going to be in every thumbnail, which is fine. So what I'm after here is this kind of visual style that I've established on these first 3 videos. I want every video to have that style. So it's going to have me in it and some kind of visual related to the video. So this script, because I've seen how well it runs, it will. I know it will be fine. It will have enough detail to actually generate a good prompt for image generation. I may be wrong, but we'll see how we go. So that should spit back a prompt. That'll save in the manifest for the video, and then we're going to add a new script, 11 thumbnail generation. So you can see review stage was 11. I've already bumped it to 12, so there's a gap for 11 thumbnail generation. Let's talk about this. This should make a request to Google's Gen AI platform, just a sec, to generate an image for the YouTube thumbnail. The script should prepare 4 inputs as parameters to send to Google's Gen AI. Sample code below, not tested. I'm going to move that. Embed prompt here. So the reason I've named these like this is because I've got a code sample for this, and I'll talk about how I got that in a second. But you can see I've got like embed prompt here, embed referenced image here. So that's why I've named it like that. So embed prompt here. This should be set directly from thumbnail prompt property in the content assets JSON. So when this runs, it's going to go, okay, I am expecting that thumbnail prompt to have been created in step 7. Pull it in. Embed system prompt. This should be a new Config.yaml property under thumbnail.system prompt. So again, I've set that up. So down the bottom, I got this thumbnail system prompt. This is going to be set and forget. So this will be like the overall style for every single image. So a common kind of instruction for, hey, I want an 80s painting vibe, which is kind of what it is, will go in here along with some other details. And then the specifics for the prompt will come out of 7 generate content, if that makes sense. So we're taking a common style and mashing it with whatever 7 generate content creates to get the image. Along with that, I've got this reference image 1, reference image 2. These should be co-located. These should be located from video editing guide images folder and embedded in the request if present in the folder. Let me explain this bit. So I've got this new folder, guide images. So what you can do with Gemini, Nano Banana, is you can feed it images. So if you watch this video on the channel, how to use Nano Banana Pro without Gemini, I show you how to do this. And it's using this Vertex AI Studio. So if you want to know how to do that, you don't need any code. You can do that immediately. Watch this video, that'll show you how to do that. But essentially what I'm saying here is I've got some guide images. I've got a video of me, and then I've got a couple of bits of artwork where I'm saying, hey, copy this style. So we've got a specific prompt generated from the video, the system prompt in the Config.yaml, and then these 2 guide images, 3 guide images, including the photo of me, and all of that's going to get mashed together and sent to Google Gemini. Google Gemini's API takes a long time to run, sometimes unsuccessfully because it does crash. Should the job not typo, configurable 10-minute timeout, or fail, create a configurable 10-minute. The code should requeue the request up to 3 times maximum with an exponential backoff. So what's that going to do? Fails once, hold the job, wait a minute, try again. Fails again, hold the job 5 minutes, try again. Fails again, hold the job 10 minutes, last try. That's what exponential backoff means. It's a standard kind of pattern with sort of system design where if a service is unavailable, retry because it could have been just bad luck. If it fails twice, it's likely to be something worse. So maybe we'll hold it back a bit. Maybe it's congested, and then slow down the retries until you hit a point where it's just not working. Now, I do this with OpenAI for my blogs, and I actually use a queue. So I use SQS on AWS, and each time it fails, I just stick it on the SQS queue in AWS. You can code a delay in for the task, and then it just re-queues back to the same job. I'm not worried about sticking this in a queue. The overall job will fail. I'll have that UI, and I'll be able to see, oh, this one's failed, Nano Banana's down, whatever. Click rerun, and it should just do it, when I wake up a day later and realize half the video's on. Maybe over-engineering this bit a little bit, but I'm like, over-engineering is an interesting concept because now AI can do everything and do it quickly. It's like, why not get it to do things that are going to prevent pain later? Once the image is returned, it should be saved under the workspace folder for the video in progress. Text setup. Add Google Gen AI to the project requirements. So that's the Python library it needs. Add the API key for Google Cloud. That's a new one. I've already added that in .env. I will try not to open that in this video. Sample code. So this came from Gen AI. So this is code. I'll show you how to get this. That you can get straight off the screen in Vertex Studio. And then I've just modified it to use all those variables that I referred to up here. So I know that Claude will be able to go, oh, okay, I see what he's doing, and he's got this sample code. So it should just be able to lift and shift this code and set it up in the script. That's it. There's a bit down here I'm going to delete. I wanted to do it where it'd send the request and immediately give a job ID. I do this with OpenAI. OpenAI, you can do this. So you can go, hey, I want to generate an image. I don't want to wait, just give me a job ID. So OpenAI goes, okay, cool, here's an ID. And then you can poll for the ID and go, hey, is it complete yet? Hey, is it complete yet? Because image generation takes a couple of minutes. So you can do it with Gemini, according to, I asked Gemini. But you need to use batch mode. That needs this Vertex AI mode, which is more of an enterprise thing. Setup looked more complicated. I was like, I'm not going to go there. So I'm going to take that out. Where shall I put that? Let's put that in never going to do. I'll clean that up later. And that's ready to go. So let's get Claude started on this. I'm going to put it in plan mode, analyze this requirement. Don't need anything else. All checked in on changes, just a couple of docs, not worried about those. While Claude's having a think, let me show you Vertex. So again, I'm just going to show you the code bit. Watch this video on the channel for a demo on how to use this. But if you go and start using Nano Banana Pro, and you can see it's loaded a example image here. This is basically what this script's going to be doing. It's going to be going, send a prompt with a bunch of images. So this is perfect that it's loaded this sample one, because all you need to do is come up here and click code. And that's where I got this from. So you can see there, it's got the 5 images, it's got the prompt. It's saying that's the code. I don't know if it works. I haven't tested it. We'll get to that in this video. But that's what's involved. So important thing to know, if you're going between preview and code, you do want to tweak your Nano Banana settings. Again, I go through all those in that demo video. But yeah, aspect ratio is important. 16:9 for a YouTube thumbnail. I'll go 2K to get the full widescreen output. That should be it. Go to code, that's it. So that sample code there should have those settings. There you go, 16:9 2K, so I already did that. And then off to work you go, Claude. Right. I know there's going to be a little bit of waiting around in this video. Let me just check how we're checking for time. 15 minutes. This is going to be a long one. I'll show you a couple of other things while this is cooking. Fonts. So I mentioned fonts in the last video when we were doing captions. So I have added a font for the captions. And I've also updated the pre-flight check so that it checks whether the font's installed on the system. Because what I don't want to do is, assuming this is still running in a year's time and some new AI tech has made all of this completely obsolete, could well happen. I get a new computer, I set it up and I go, I can't remember how any of this code works. Oh, I forgot to install the font. So this is going to go, hey, you're running this, but the font's not there anymore. Or I may just break the font. So the pre-flight's just going, hey, you need to add the font. So what is this? Cal Sans. That comes from Google Fonts. I'm going to show you that in a second. I think Claude is about to ask us questions. So I'll load up Google Fonts in the meantime, and then we'll just go and answer Claude's questions, because we don't want to keep the AI waiting around. Still thinking. Google Fonts. So you can come here, just type fonts.google.com or type it in Google. These are all kind of free to use fonts. There will be some kind of licensing on these. I may be breaking them, using them in the captions, but we'll see. Find a font you like, click it, click Get Font, and you want to do a download. You can do an embed code if you're building a website and you want the font on the website. Otherwise, you want to do a download. It's going to get you probably a TTF or OTF file for the font. Install it on your Mac or Windows. Shouldn't just need to double click and it'll install it. And then any code like what I'm writing here with the captioning logic would pick it up. Okay, I still have a thorough understanding of the code base. Let me write the plan now. Okay, that's still going. While that's still going, let me show you the result of that font. And I did another little. I messed around with the sizing of the captions a bit more. All right, I'm going to show you that in a sec. Let's just keep Claude moving. Assumptions and risks. PRD specifies, this may not be a real model name. Okay, so it's not asking me any questions. Vertex AI true remove. Oh, maybe I've stuffed something up here. It's not invalid. That's coming from theirs. We may have a problem here. Feedback. 1, model name is correct. I don't really need to do this because we're going to get bugs anyway. 2, ignore. I'll say concern. I still want to put it in the code. Easy to put back if it cocks up. Image from guide. Modify the code to set as many images as are found in the guide images folder. That should make sense. Still in plan mode. Okay, I'm a little bit freaked out about this Vertex AI thing. So this is what I was talking about earlier with the batch stuff. So this could derail this video a bit because I may need to go away and figure out how to set up this enterprise Vertex AI account. I assume this would just be a... because it doesn't mention it here. I just hadn't noticed it was in the code there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's a blocker. It'll just be more... it'll just be more setup. So this may be a 2-parter, which is probably not a bad idea given I'm 20 minutes in already. All right, so Claude is away. Let's show you my caption. There you go. So pretty happy with this. This looks a lot better. I got this side by side with the Anthropic guy's TikTok. So the font's literally the same size. It's not the same font, but visually it matches what he'd done. I'll turn the volume down, I'll play it. So that's how this is tracking in terms of how this looks. This is probably a bad example because I've got that screen share up the top of me and the Finder window. I think it'll look better when it's just VS Code. And I think what I'm going to work on is getting it to do a zoom and pan on the top, because that'll just make the short much more visually interesting if it starts lasering in on what's going on screen. I have no idea if that's possible with FFmpeg, but I'm going to work on it because, hey, why not? So that's where we are. So we got font going on correctly. font check, and that's kind of where I finished up last night. So, in the meantime, Claude is busy. Let's see how it's going. What's it done in common? Checking for Google API key, call 7 generate content. You can see it's added thumbnail prompt to the schema. Config, it's using prompt instruction. Oh yeah, that's correct. And then it adds that. It has edited the config. There you go. Look at that. Awesome. So 2 things here: the system prompt and the prompt instruction. Max seconds. I think I skipped over that. So that's how long to wait for the image generation to complete. Because I've seen Gemini take 5 minutes to create an image, and then it times out. So there's no point waiting longer than that anyway. It's done. Max retries 3. Okay. We're there. Right. So we are going to need to regenerate the narrative. So the narrative is the first part of this. Sorry, the content assets. So we can use, what's it called? Where's my videos? 9 fixing shorts generation, because that's got a lot of content in it. Yeah, so we need to run content, 7 generate content again. My test scripts I've moved up here. There's number 7. Let's get that. Copy that out like there. Whoa! Did that last night. Paste, go. So I am expecting this to simply update content assets with this thumbnail prompt, and then we'll take a look at it and see if it's any good. Going to rack me up another 10 cents on Claude or whatever that is. And as we know, this one can take a few seconds. It's not too bad. It's a lot of context. It's getting fed a huge amount of context, this prompt. So remember, it's sending it the full transcript from the overall video. So it's like a 20-minute transcript and a fairly meaty prompt. I make me all this and a schema for what it expects back. And then it's got to do all this work. So it's got to understand the transcript. And then it's got, effectively I'm going, hey, do 7 jobs. Now 8 with the thumbnail prompt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 jobs in the one prompt. So it's a meaty prompt. I wouldn't have actually built it like this. I would have got scared and went, oh, that's too much to get a AI to do in one prompt. And probably 6 months ago it probably was. Especially asking for it in a schema as well. But these models are just getting better and better and able to handle more complex stuff. So I guess this is a one-shot. It's not a, oh, let's separate this into different prompts and get each one separately. It's like, no, just give me the lot in one go. And from one of the earlier videos, results are pretty good. Still taking a while. I'm going to pause until it's done, and then I'll come back. As soon as I hit pause, it finished. In 118 seconds, so 3 minutes. Okay, what have we got? Where's my thumbnail prompt? There it is. Let's copy this out so I can read it. Where's my PRD? Paste it at the bottom. A split-screen YouTube thumbnail mirroring the video's own format. Left half shows Chris Webb, a developer in his early 40s, sitting at his desk with a look of focused satisfaction. The expression of someone who just watched something work that really needed to work. He's pointing out, glancing towards the right half. The right half shows a terminal code editor with green confirmation output video suggesting a successful pipeline run. Bold text overlay reads, "It has to work," in high contrast white with a red or orange accent. The overall composition should feel tense but triumphant. Problem solved under self-imposed pressure. Clean high contrast style with dark background. Aspect ratio 69. Pretty good. So I'm reading this thinking if I was going to run this myself, I'd make tweaks. And there are tweaks that I'm going to change in the code. So I'm going to say, you know, do not include instructions like aspect ratio, split screen, thumbnail. We don't need those because they're part of the system prompt. It's not really a problem that it includes them. And then the styling as well. I don't want this prompt to do any kind of styling because that has to be done consistently for the thumbnails to be kind of the same. So if each of these prompts that's generated goes, oh, I'll do high contrast, I'll do low contrast, whatever, it's going to mess it up. So stuff like that, we'll tweak that prompt and get it to strip stuff like that out, which it will. The rest of it, in terms of what it's actually writing as a prompt, as I say, you might look at that and think, oh, I don't like that. I want the bold text overlay with a red or orange accent to be green. It's like, well, those are kind of, if you're going to give it over to AI and just do my thumbnails for me, I'm handing over the creativity to an extent. I could try and, you know, code in, or only use blue or purple or whatever, and put more constraints around it. But I think it actually benefits from letting the AI do a bit of this creativity. As I say, because I've got a website that does this, and I've generated over 900 images in this approach, you're amazed by the results. The results that come back, you're like, wow, it does some creative stuff. So this is fine. This is not perfect, but for a first run, I'm going to go with it. So I need a to-do here. I'll just use the top, because we're done with this PRD now, but I'll just use the document to make some notes. Follow up. Tweak, generate content prompt to strip styling info. Actually, let's bring that, where's it gone? Let's bring that back. I want to keep the font so I can refer to it later. And that'll jog my memory on, okay, I know which bits I need to change. Okay, now we'll try the image generation script. What's it said? Loads all images, non-streaming, generate content, to correctly extract, retry loop up to blah blah blah, saves in, renders thumbnails. Cool. I have a quick look at the code. I'm gonna need to do a pip install because it won't have installed Gen AI. Has it updated requirements? Yes, it has. Surprised it didn't tell me to do that. So because this is using Google's Gen AI library, I need to install that, which is what this is doing. It did add it to the requirements text, so that's good. That's now installed. Should work, or at least it shouldn't throw errors. This isn't going to work first time. This is going to be a bit of debugging and working through a few issues. And then, as I say, I think that Vertex AI may be the blocker for this, and that'll be the end of this video while I go and figure that out. Keeping on with the code. Image. Now, little hack here. I'm going to make this 1K to start with, because this is a test. I don't need to be paying for 2K images when we're just testing. So in my follow-up, make sure I do it, and don't forget. Here's our retries. So this is going to happen concurrently. So this is going to be a long-running script. Back off. 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 120. So it's going to wait half a minute, then a minute, then 2 minutes. That's fine. Needs job ID and it needs config. I'm too lazy. Write me a bash script 2x to run in isolation. I could do it. Just too lazy. Where's my scripts? Let's come down here. We will go 12 thumbnails. I'm going to copy that. because we're going to run it on 9. There we go. Thank you. We need to change the job ID. It's going to be this one. Yeah, I could have created that. All right, let's see what happens. It's going to be an error first time. It'll be a code error. I'm 98% confidence. Interesting. No code errors. Okay. My 98% confidence was completely wrong. I'll be amazed if this does this in one go. Has this got error logging? It's going to take a while. I may pause. I'll keep talking for a little bit. Where is this in code? So if you look at this, generate thumbnail, temp 1, search for that. That's this statement. Concurrent futures thread pull, execute. It's done it. Wowzers. Holy crap. What do we got? Wowzers. Cool, it worked. Holy crap. Holy crap. Work first time. Can you freaking believe it? I'm amazed. I'm amazed. That's so cool. First try. Gonna need some changes. So the immediate thing is I don't want text on screen. But it's nailed it. It's made me slightly grayer than I am, but I'm getting that way. So that's fine. That's in my system prompt. So let me show you my system prompt. Oh, freaking word wrap. I need to fix this. Drew Struzan style illustration painted in gouache and airbrush. Claude actually generated the system prompt. Warm golden, magenta and cool blue cinematic palette. Central figure is a male professional. See reference wearing cap. It's got that. In his late 40s, salt and pepper hair. So that's why it's grayed me out. Dramatic lighting, rich painterly texture throughout, visible brush stroke, slight film grain, highly detailed cinematic, no photorealism, no text overlays. I'm going to put it in there and I'm going to repeat it in the prompt. Here you go, prompt instruction. So this is the bit we need to tweak. Create a prompt that can be used to generate an image for the video at a subsequent stage. The prompt should refer to one or two key visual concepts related to the video and reference the emotional state. The prompt should not include any styling instructions or specified text overlays. So this one's tricky, the text overlays, because the prompt actually specified, okay, do this code with pipeline run successful. I'm okay with that. That bit, that's fine. What I don't want is it has to work. I don't like that. I want a simple thumbnail. Yeah, this is the stuff that needs iterating on, and of course we're going to get a different result from each video. So we'll see how that goes. What's really cool though is I'll tell you now. That prompt that Claude wrote. I used it to generate this top image on the channel. So the whole warm and cool tones was written to do that. And then I just edited this and threw in magenta. So that was me. And so you can see what it's done. It's like it's got the warm, it's got the magenta, and then the blue. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted. So that's pretty cool. What do we like for time? Because this is done. So 37 minutes. I'm going to run it all again with these tweaks. Or specified text overlays. So the other thing I was thinking was I don't need this to specify YouTube thumbnail, but I don't think it's going to do any harm. bold text overlay, right? So it should get this. It should get this right. So I've updated it in the config. I'm just going to run it again. So we can go back to generate script. We're going to have to wait for that. There it is. I'll pause the video while this runs. Okay, run again. No issues. I ran both. So I redid the content generation and I redid the image. So content generation. This is how it's changed the prompt. So exactly what I just added to that Config.yaml for the prompt instructions, no text overlays, no styling instructions. And so you can see the difference, a bit less detail, and of course it's gonna generate a different idea. It's not going to give you the same prompt, just minus the bits I didn't ask for. Again, this is part of that sort of creative control we're handing over, but it's not talking about, you know, high contrast style background. It's dropped the sort of YouTube thumbnail aspect ratio references, and just said, here's the image I want. So this is exactly what I want for each image. Remember, all of this is based on the transcript. So this whole thing is just fed based on what I'm saying in the video. So this content generation script is doing some huge heavy lifting of getting that whole transcript and going, what is this video about? And then what is a visual concept that would match what it's about, giving me this prompt, and then we feed it into thumbnail generation. And then I ran thumbnail generation as well because you guys didn't need to wait for that. You can see, interestingly enough, the generate content through Claude is taking longer than the image generation. I don't know what that says. I mean, I can imagine from an AI perspective, this is more work. There's more to figure out for AI with this generate content one, even though it's only just text. Like it's got to understand more. Whereas image generation, although it's an image, it's kind of going in one direction. You know, it's not like it's got to figure millions of things out. I don't know. I'm probably talking absolute rubbish. Here's the thumbnail. So a bit different. Starting to get a bit uncanny valley, not quite looking like me, but that's fine. I don't really care. So this is not bad. This is not bad. There's probably a bit more detail than I'd like on the right. I've noticed this with AI imagery, that it can sometimes fall apart in its consistency on the style. And what I mean by that is that thumbnail of the dude on the screen, that's starting to be much more detailed than kind of this drawing illustration style that it's got on me, which is correct. But, you know, like, give this 3 months, 6 months, these problems will be gone. Like, I've been in this image generation space for a couple of years now. Like, I've been using Stable Diffusion since 2003, I'm going to say. And I've seen how much better image generation has got. So, and I mean, Nano Banana, its ability to adhere to the prompt you send it is insane. You just couldn't do this stuff a couple of years ago with Stable Diffusion. So, as with everything with AI, give it 3 months, give it 6 months. It's going to improve. This is a real key aspect of how I think about building stuff with AI, which is if it doesn't work quite good enough now, it will in 3 months. Crazy times. I'm going to call it quits here. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm gobsmacked that this worked without issue, kind of first time. So very cool. We have the full pipeline. There are other things I could add to this, but this is it. We've got the full pipeline from take a raw video and spit me out edited video, edited shorts, and a thumbnail, and all the content for it. Freaking awesome.